Hello everyone, it's Natasha, your beauty guide with Limelight by El Cone, and tonight I'm coming at you live from my front yard. I just got a quick tip that I wanted to share with you guys because I learned it, I'd say probably about a week or two ago, and I've been using it and it's been helping me out a lot. So it's just a little tip. Some of you guys might think it's a little silly or a little funny, but some of you guys might actually take it and use it and it might help you too. So it's called B10XB Be. I've been doing a lot of personal development lately. A lot of it I do on YouTube. I've been listening to Tony Robbins. I've been listening to Derek War, and this tip actually comes from Cesar Rodriguez, and it's called B10XB. It stands for Be 10 times Bolder, and it's like a little trick to help people with their negative thoughts or their anxiety or their thinking pattern. It kind of interrupts your thinking pattern to make you kind of be 10 times bolder. So I'm going to explain what it is a little bit and tell you a couple, 2 ways that I just recently used it within the past week or two. So it's called B10XB, Be 10 times bolder. So when I'll just tell you my first example from tonight. I just finished dinner. We just had some Little Caesars pizza, and I went in there. My husband's got some friends over, so they wanted pizza. I went there to get some pizza, and I was in there. His little brother told me to get him some garlic butter sauce. So I'm in Little Caesars, and I've never been there before, and you guys are gonna think this is so funny, but whatever, it's a true story. So I'm in Little Caesars. I've never been there before, and he wants me to get him this buttery garlic sauce, and I'm like in there waiting to place my order, and I'm just looking at the sauces, and I'm thinking, do I have to pay for those sauces? Because the way they were just displayed made it look like you definitely had to pay like 25 cents for your sauce or whatever. It almost looked like I wasn't able to just grab it and go. So I was like starting to work myself up, like, oh my God, what if I try to grab the sauce and they tell me I have to pay for it? And I'm like, whatever, I'll get my 2-liter and then go back and grab the sauce when the girl's distracted. And I grabbed one, and then in my head, I was like, because I was nervous to grab it for some weird reason. And then in my head, I was like, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab 2 sauces, because what if someone else wants a sauce and not just Christian wants one? So I said, be 10 times bolder, and I grabbed another sauce. And I walked out of there with 2 sauces when I was scared shitless to grab one. And I know that's really silly, and people are going to be like, really, Tasha, you were scared to grab a sauce? Like, come on now. But I don't know, just little things kind of make you anxious or negative, and that's where this little trick comes into play, because if once you start thinking those negative thoughts, it happens so quick in your head that it starts spiraling and you just keep thinking negative thoughts. When I say, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? It stops those negative thoughts, and it makes me just stop in my tracks, and it disrupts my thinking to where I'm able to just grab another sauce and do it. And then, ooh, there's a firefly. Oh my God, I almost just killed it on my leg. And then I'll just give you one more example too, because I think this one's kind of funny, because I've been doing a lot of personal development, and I've been trying to get my husband on board because he suffers from severe anxiety. And we were at a yard sale, and we wanted to get this little bike for our son, and it had a $10 price tag on it. And we didn't want to pay $10 for it because that's all we had for cash. So we were like, what if whatever. So we didn't want to pay $10. So my husband's like, why don't you ask them if they'll take 8? Because normally I do all the bargaining, because he's too nervous to do it. Probably because in his anxiety, it works up in his head and he gets too scared to ask. So while I'm walking over there to look at the bike, I'm looking at the bike, and I'm like, you know what? What would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And I just turned to the lady and I said, hey, would you take $7 for this bike? She said, sure, why not? And look at that, I got that bike for $7 when me and my husband were just talking about asking her for $8 for it. So it's just a little trick whenever it could apply for anything, you know, you're standing in the grocery line and you want to tell somebody she looks really pretty today, or whatever, as soon as you start getting negative inside your head, or you're starting to doubt yourself, just ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And instantly you'll think of something that you would do and just do whatever comes to your head, because seriously, who cares? You only live once, and you got to just go out there and go for it. So I just wanted to bring you that little tip. I hope that it helps. It's called B10XB, Be 10 times bolder. So I hope you guys just try that out, sit on it for like a week, and next time you hear yourself talking negative in your head, just ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And just see what pops up in your head. And it's funny because I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I just watched one of this guy's. His name is Cesar Rodriguez, and I just watched this one, and it was probably about 2 weeks ago that I watched it, and it stuck with me the whole time. It's been with me ever since, and I find myself in the grocery store in random spots, you know, what would you do if you were 10 times bolder? And eventually that's gonna, you know, help me with my business. I'll be sitting in, you know, maybe I'll be at Sally's beauty supply store, and the cashier will have really good makeup, and I'll think, oh, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? I'd say, hey girl, have you heard about Limelight by Alcone? And she might say, no, what are you talking about? And I'd be like, well, you see my wing here, girl? And it starts a conversation. So it can apply for anything in your life. Just ask yourself, what would you do if you were 10 times bolder? And see how that helps you throughout the next week. And if you do end up using this little trick, come back to me and let me know how it helped you, or if it helped you, or if you think I'm totally crazy, go ahead and put that in the comments and let me know. And, you know, I just wanted to share this little trick with you because I was thinking about it. I just used it tonight, and I thought, you know what? I've used this probably a good 4 or 5 times now. I need to share this because it's definitely helped me be a little bit bolder with my life. Look at, I'm wearing these bold lips. But yeah, that's all I had, you guys. I hope it helps, and I hope you guys have a great Friday night. If you're doing anything crazy like my husband and his friends back there, be safe and be 10 times bolder. Bye, everyone.